let's just throw in a taunt just for the lols, and let's use our assassinate ability to finish off the battle. How's it going, crew? This is Happy Days, and welcome to the ultimate quick start guide for Pixel Privateers, the brand new game from Quadro Delta that has been published by Relogic, the team behind Terraria. And Quadro Delta have been nice enough to give me an early copy of the game so I can bring this video to you. Guys, we're going to be looking at how to give your privateers the best start possible in this awesome game. We're going to be looking at combat, the best equipment, and how to give your privateers the best stats. So guys, grab a snack, get comfy, and get ready to get your mind blown as we launch out into the galaxy. Let's get started. It is time to look at one of the major features of Pixel Privateers, and that is combat, guys. And luckily, it couldn't be easier to get into. To initiate combat, all you need to do is select all your privateers by dragging the mouse over them or pushing the Q button to select all your privateers. And then all you need to do is pretty much right click on what you want to kill and your guys will charge into the action. Now luckily early on in your adventure you can win most fights simply by selecting all your privateers and just right clicking on the enemy. It's not too hard at first, but I'm going to show you some features today to really help as you get more into the game. So as you can see, all these zombies are charging in and they're going to start causing us some trouble pretty soon. So what we're going to do is push the spacebar and actually initiate tactical mode. That freezes the game and allows you to issue commands to your privateers. And guys, later on, when you're fighting bosses, when you're getting overwhelmed, this will be a critical thing for you to learn. So basically what we can do is select our privateers, have a look at their abilities and assess the situation. So let's say we need to get our vanguard out of there. He's about to die. We put tactical mode on with the pause button and let's right click away from the screen. Now let's unpause and see what happens. So our vanguard starts running for it. He's getting out of there. And now our poor medic is under attack. So let's get him out of the way as well. So we're going to pause again and let's right click our medic behind the vanguard and get him running too. So that's awesome. Alright, so our vanguard's had a little bit of time to heal. Now we're going to have a look at our abilities. Now let's say we're trying to save our medic. We've got an ability called Universal Profanaphone that taunts all the nearby enemies. So we're going to move him in a bit, unpause, pause again, and actually use this ability. Now when we unpause, it'll trigger and all the zombies will attack the vanguard. Let's do it. Okay, so he's taunted them and now all the zombies are on him again. So let's select our medic and we'll get him attacking the same zombie as our vanguard and get the battle underway. So if we were in a really bad situation then, that could just buy us a little bit of time to heal up and get away from danger. So as you can see, it's happened again. Our poor medic is under attack. Let's pause tactical mode and put him behind the vanguard there. Beautiful. While our vanguard is just attacking away there. Very nice indeed. So this will be really critical later on, guys. When you've got 4 or 5 privateers, you've got a boss after you, this can really save your life. So let's select all our privateers, we'll start attacking a zombie again. It's all going pretty well. Now as you can see, they are chasing our poor medic around. This is not good, let's run him back over here. So let's see, let's go back to our vanguard. His taunt ability is back on. So let's pause, let's get him back over here, and we're going to use it and get them off the medic. Beautiful. Alright, and let's move our medic out of the way, and everyone's back on the vanguard again. That's beautiful. Now the medic also has an ability called Calming Whisper, which means if the zombies were on him, he can use that to get them off him just for 10 seconds, which can be really useful. But guys, this is the basics of tactical mode. Definitely practice with it a bit, even though you don't need it early on, because you want it to become part of your gameplay before you encounter the tougher enemies when you really will need it. Welcome to the Crew Manager screen. This is your one-stop shop for powering up your privateers. You can get new equipment, increase your statistics, as well as train your privateers to have new abilities. Now guys, this can be a little bit overwhelming when you first see it, but I'm going to give you some easy to use tricks straight away so you can power up your guys to the best of your ability. Now the first trick I'm going to show you is the equipment screen on the right. Now, this is all the stuff you get from missions, from rewards, for fighting monsters. Now, the one thing you want to look for, the easiest thing you can do early on, is the better equipment has little coloured borders around it, and it shows that it's higher tier equipment than the other stuff. So let's look at our Vanguard here. Our Vanguard's like the fighter, he protects everyone, he takes all the damage, and he has a short sword equipped. Now let's use that trick we just learned, looking for the coloured equipment that is higher tier, if we go over to this short sword here, we can see the one we've got equipped on the left and the one that's in our storage on the right. And you can see it's got more damage. And if we look at the bottom, it also says it gives us more stamina and more melee damage. So what we're going to do is we're going to drag that onto our vanguard. And all of a sudden, we've got that better weapon, as well as an extra stamina point, which gives us more health, more block amount, and more shield power. Awesome. Now let's take a look at his helmet. He's not wearing one, so he's missing out on all the awesome stats for wearing a helmet. So let's use that trick again. Let's look at the colored items that are probably higher tier and have better stats on them. Okay, that one's got 7 armor, and this one has 6 armor, but it also gives me a bonus point of stamina. So I'm going to put that on his head. Beautiful, we're up to 5 stamina, that is awesome. So let's look at his armor there. He's got some poor light armor, gives 35 points. Let's use that trick again. Let's look at the items with borders around them. Okay, this one gives 40 and it gives me some more dodge bonus. Let's get that equipped, and all of a sudden our vanguard is looking mighty tough there. So let's do the same with our medic. Now our medic already has a pretty awesome sniper rifle, so let's improve his armor a bit. So again, it's got 35 points. Let's see if we can get something a bit better. Let's go to this one. Alright, this has the same armor score, but it also gives more dodge. That's pretty cool. Alright, how about this one? Whoa, 115 armor. That is insane, but it's pretty heavy. I think I'm going to give him this one. If you look at the yellow text down the bottom, it also gives him more healing power, which is good for our medic. Sounds good. Alright guys, let's move on to the next section. Okay guys, let's try a more active combat this time. Let's charge straight in, and we're going to see how we go. So straight away, I want to get my support characters a little bit closer to the action. And they are going to be under attack, so I'm going to use Calming Whisper straight away on my medic and get him on the vanguard. And I'm also going to use Taunt on him and get all the enemies focused, which is awesome. So let's refocus our support characters to help out. And as you can see, our medic's taking a little bit, our vanguard's taking a little bit of damage, but that's all under control. I'm going to use my assassinate ability on my scout to do a little bit of extra damage. Don't forget you can use tab during combat to quickly swap between your privateers without having to select them. That can be really good if you just want to quickly use your active abilities and do a little bit of extra damage. And as you can see, combat's going pretty nice here. We just leveled up, there's a bit of credit around, which is nice. We'll grab that very soon. Let's just throw in a taunt just for the lols, and let's use our assassinate ability to finish off the battle. So as you can see, as you get more used to using tactical mode, you can really increase the damage that you dish out to your opponents. The next thing we're going to look at in the crew manager menu is the training screen. Now, as you complete missions, as you're fighting enemies, your privateers are going to gain levels, and that gets them training points to use on their statistics. Now, at first, if you're new to games that use stats, or you haven't played games like this before, you mightn't know what to put your points into, and this can have a massive effect on how well you can do in this game. Now, I'm going to give you a really easy tip to start with, and then an advanced tip to think about as you gain more experience in the game. So as you can see, the game sort of suggests what your character is focusing on. So our vanguard already has 7 strength and 3 stamina. So strength to do more damage and stamina to have more hit points and block more damage. So what you might want to do is use your points accordingly. So you might go, okay, our guy's a defender. I'm going to give him 2 points of stamina. And the cool thing is, if you hover over the stamina bar, you can see what that's going to do. So I get 28 more health and 100 more block damage absorption. You can also reduce it back down, so you can have a bit of a play and increase the points and see what benefits that's going to have for your character. Now, the first thing I recommend you guys do is sort of work with the stats that are already boosted. So this guy's got pretty high strength. I'm going to give him an extra point of strength, which gives him 2 more damage. I'm also going to boost his stamina by 2. Which makes him a lot more tanky. Now, one thing you might want to do in the future is you might go, gee, my vanguard, he keeps getting hit so often, I wish he could dodge occasionally. And you might go, okay, maybe I'll give him a point of agility. And you can see his dodge chance has gone up slightly. Now, that's something you might do as you gain more experience in the game. But at the start, guys, stick with the main stats there. So I'm going to confirm that, lock it in, beautiful. And the little rabbit saying, let's go back to the character tab. But for now, I also want to boost my medic. So medics get most of their healing power from intelligence. So if we boost that by a few points, you can see we get things like, okay, we get more critical damage, we do more healing amount, and all that good stuff. So you probably want to stick with that. So he needs speed to his movement speed and attack speed and all that good stuff. But we really want to focus on intelligence, because that is going to boost how much we do healing. Now, as I said, guys, later on you might think, gee, my medics keep dying so quick, I might need to give them some more hit points. So you might increase his stamina a little bit. As you can see, 2 points of stamina gives him 30 more hit points. But that's something you might do later on. So you might want to stick with your intelligence and speed at first, and then later on, if you're having trouble and they're getting killed, maybe then give them a bit more stamina. But that is a really great early tip. Stick with their strengths, boost their main stats as much as you can, and you'll find you'll be slaughtering your enemies in no time. Once you're past the tutorial and in the main game, you might want to increase the difficulty to get some extra loot. So before you go to a planet, you select your team, and there is a map difficulty here, and it's usually on the usual or no change. Now, if you're having a lot of trouble, you can actually reduce the difficulty of the enemies, but the loot quality goes down. Now, if you think you're doing pretty well, you might want to try and get some better loot, and you can actually increase the enemy level, but also increase the quality of the loot you can get. This is definitely worth a try early on when the enemies are not too hard. You might snag yourself some really great early equipment. One last tip I'd love to give you before we wrap this video up, guys, is when you look at your return to ship button on your hotbar, it'll tell you how much of the map you've actually cleared. Now, early on, guys, I totally recommend you clear as much of the maps as possible, because that means more levels for your character, more loot, more weapons and equipment, all of that good stuff, and you definitely need that early on, especially if you combine it with the tip I talked about of powering up the level difficulty so your characters are getting more loot. That can really help you out a lot early on. Guys, thanks so much for watching this. I've had so much fun playing Pixel Privateers with all of you. Remember all those tips, guys. Use tactical mode for your characters in combat so you can give them better controls. Don't forget to select the best equipment by looking for those ones with the colored borders and the higher quality equipment. Get stats that are appropriate for your classes. So, you know, boosting stamina on your Vanguard class is a great idea. Explore as much of the map as you can, and also raise the difficulty level if you want to get some more loot. Special thanks to Quadro Delta for the early copy. Guys, you've done an amazing job with this game, and I'm just going to keep playing this in my spare time. I'm having so much fun. This is awesome. Guys, smash the like button if you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if you want to see more Pixel Privateers action on our channel. But here's the most important part. As always, you'll stay happy, and I'll see you soon. This is Happy Days signing out. See ya!